Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be looking at bloatware. So what exactly is bloatware? It kind of sounds like some loose-fitting trousers you'd wear for a big Christmas dinner. But I'm sure you'll be disappointed to know that's not what bloatware is. At least not in this video. Imagine you've brought a brand new laptop. You're excited, ready to dive into your work, only to find it sluggish and cluttered with unnecessary programs. But you didn't install them, so why are they there? Welcome to the world of bloatware. Bloatware refers to the unwanted software that comes pre-installed on your devices. These can be trial versions of software, promotional apps, or unnecessary utilities that you'll probably never use. Now, while they are often harmless, they do take up valuable space and can slow down your device. There are several types of bloatware. Trialware, software that you can use for free, but only for a limited amount of time. After that, you'll have to pay to keep using it. Examples of this can include antivirus software or word processing applications. Adware. These are programs that display advertisement and are often bundled with free software to generate revenue. OEM software. These are applications added by the device manufacturer. They can range from useful utilities to completely pointless applications. Utilities and games. Pre-installed games or tools that you may never use. So you might be wondering why manufacturers include bloatware. Primarily, it's about money. Software companies pay manufacturers to include their applications on new devices, hoping users will eventually purchase or subscribe to their full version. It's a revenue stream for manufacturers, but often at the expense of the user experience. Other times, it's an attempt to provide the user with useful tools, but these often go unused. So apart from just being annoying, bloatware can also impact your device's performance. For example, storage space. These unwanted programs can take up valuable storage space, limiting the amount you have for your files and your apps. And in the world of super fast, but still pretty expensive SSDs, storage space is valuable. Speed and responsiveness. Running unused background processes and using system resources can slow down your device, leading to longer boot times and sluggish performance. And no one wants that. Battery life. For laptops, bloatware can also drain your battery faster by running unnecessary background processes. If you have ever set up a new computer or even a new phone, I'm sure you have encountered bloatware before. Things such as backup software, free antivirus, software assistance, and more. But let's take a look at some bloatware that hit headlines. In 2014, Lenovo came under fire for pre-installing a piece of adware called Superfish on their laptops.
Lenovo has been caught pre-installing adware on its computers, and that activates when an owner turns on their computer right out of the box. Lenovo poisoned its own computers just to make some more money by forcing you to see extra pop-up ads on websites.
This software displayed extra unexpected ads on websites that the user was visiting. It did this using a technique called man in the middle to place ads in the user's browser. Now, normally, any data transmitted over the internet using HTTPS is encrypted. This makes it secure and inaccessible to third parties. However, Superfish was able to bypass this encryption by installing its own self-signed certificate on the affected Lenovo laptops. This allowed it to decrypt the HTTPS traffic, insert their ads, and then re-encrypt that traffic before sending it on. Not only did this allow them to insert ads, but it also created significant security vulnerabilities, allowing attackers to potentially create fake websites and intercept encrypted communication. The backlash was immense, and thankfully Lenovo stopped including this in its products. So if bloatware is bad, how do you get rid of it? Here are some options. Uninstalling it manually, so simply going to the program screen and uninstalling them. Use a third-party tool or script. There are third-party tools out there that claim to remove bloatware. You need to be careful with this option because they can easily remove important system files. Or, even worse, install malware or create security vulnerabilities. And lastly, a fresh install. For us techie people, performing a fresh install of the operating system we'll start with a clean slate, removing some of that manufacturer bloatware. This video is part of our Security Plus in 31 Days course. If you like this video, you are gonna love the full course. Not only does it cover each exam topic in simple and easy to understand videos, but it also provides hands-on labs. These labs guide you through practical tasks like creating Trojans, cracking passwords, and sending your own phishing emails, giving you real-world experience and making your studies that much more engaging and effective. It doesn't stop there though. You also get a copy of our Security Plus in 31 Days ebook, which follows the course and covers each topic. You'll also get access to helpful downloads to support your learning, a private community where you can connect with fellow learners, and exclusive discounts. It really is the complete package to guide you through your Security Plus journey. Check it out in the description below. So there you have it, the world of bloatware. It's a nuisance we all have to deal with, but now you should understand what it is, why it's there, and how you can manage it. It's important to note that while bloatware is frustrating, it's typically legal and not classified as malware. Let's end with a couple of quiz questions. Question 1. What effects can bloatware have on a system? A. Reduced storage space. B. Slower performance. C. Shortened battery life. Or D. All of the above. The answer is D, all of the above. Bloatware can negatively impact a system in multiple ways, including taking up storage space, slowing down performance, draining battery life, and potentially introducing security vulnerabilities. Question 2. Is bloatware generally considered malicious software? A. Yes, it often contains harmful viruses and spyware. B. Yes, because it's designed to steal personal information. C. No, it's usually not malicious, but it can impact performance and user experience. Or D. No, it's required software for device functionality. The answer is C. No, it's usually not malicious, but can impact performance and user experience. Bloatware is not generally classified as malicious software, though it is often unwanted due to its impact on performance and the storage. Unlike malware, bloatware does not usually pose a direct security threat. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. The support from you guys really helps this channel grow. Other than that, thank you for watching.